Well, this is the slash pile with cottonwood that we want to get. And this is our creek now. So this spot used to be a beautiful lush forest with some culverts coming down, and we had a rain on snow event, high temperatures. It was really just the perfect storm, and the culverts blew out and directed all the water. So up here the culverts blew out, directed all the water down the driveway, and it was a big mess. So the creek has been repaired above. So all of those rocks are a repair that was done by, I won't say their names. They ripped it all out, put in a bunch of rocks, and it's not a beautiful forest anymore. And we've got the slash pile here. So we're trying to make use of this wood so it's not ending up just burnt here. I don't know if they ever plan on burning it, so we might as well make some nice boards out of it.
All day.
How much are straps?
How much are the straps? $50 for 4 of these.
Oh. Why spend $150 on forks when we can just buy straps, you know? Way more budget friendly. right, we're back for round 2. There was a log that we thought was too big for the mill, but upon measuring it, it's actually going to work really well. We should be able to get a ton of boards from it. It's probably a little bit shorter of a log than we would like, but it's still very thick, so it's going to be perfect. Pinto's just standing in the creek. Loving it. Is that nice, boy? Hey, come here. Juniper, come.
Cut it that way.
I'm missing some important footage that tells the story, explains what is going on. So I'm from the future, but I'm here to tell you what has been going on for the past few days and how we're dealing with it. So we just had about a week of beautiful, really warm weather. It was like over 25, sometimes up to 30 degrees every day for a week. And while you don't see any snow on our property and the areas that we show in our videos, we actually live near the base of a mountain that goes up to about 2,000 meters. So it's way up in the Alpine, and there's a ton of snow still up there because it's early May. So what has been going on is we had all this warm weather, and then we had a big rainstorm in the forecast. And when you get all that rain on the snow that's still in the Alpine, there is a big risk for flooding. So if you've been following the news around BC, you'd know that we just had flood warnings, flood risk in much of the interior of BC. For us, that means the creek that our driveway goes over is at risk of flooding as well, because we have so much snow high up in the mountains. And basically, we saw this weather coming. We remember from a few years ago when we actually had a big washout above our driveway. We wanted to be prepared. We didn't want to have our vehicles stuck at home, so our plan was to move our vehicles to the other side of the creek so that we could at least walk to the creek and find a way across somewhere. So we filled up our propane for cooking and in the house and our hot water, and filled up fuel so we could run the generator. We knew we weren't going to be getting much solar for a few days. And we picked up some groceries so that we had everything we would need for a few days. We moved our vehicles to the other side of the creek, and then we just waited to see what would happen. Well, the first step is I am parking my vehicle on the other side of the creek, so if it does wash out, all we have to do is climb over the rocks to get across, and then my vehicle will be here and we'll be able to access, you know, going into town and whatever. Thankfully we have the quad now, so I don't have to walk the whole driveway every time, especially with supplies. So, yep, and the rain is starting now. How do you feel about the storm?
I don't know. Remains to be seen, you know. Don't worry about something that's not worth worrying about, but
I think it's worth worrying about.
well, what can you do?
Yeah, I know what can you do, but you gotta get prepared.
Yeah, that's
You
what
can't
we're
just
doing.
sit around and be like, oh, well, I'm not gonna worry about it.
I think we're doing our due diligence.
Yeah. Well, we still have a road. It's good. Oh my God. It's already washing in between. I can see it's washing out in between. That's not good. See actually only one part of the creek there that we could probably walk across, but otherwise the water is kind of over top of the rocks all the way, which sucks. Kind of counting on being able to cross at some point if we have to. We know that this creek is very temperamental, so whenever there's a rain event or a snow melt or anything, the creek goes up pretty fast, but it goes down really fast. So I think it was less than 24 hours that the culverts were at 90% and they did not breach, which is really good because we were worried about that. We need to change out those culverts, but there's just a whole ordeal from that washout that happened years ago. And basically, because we're on a Forest Service road, we need to have a permit to be able to use the road to get to our houses, our neighbor as well. But because those culverts are undersized, and there's another creek that is undersized as well, that is like a huge project. It's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars, apparently, is what we've been told, to fix. We don't have that kind of money. We are the two residents out here, so do they want to help us? No, probably not. We don't want to spend money on the creek if the other creek is going to be getting decommissioned and we don't have a road. Of course, when they were doing the repair on the creek above our driveway, we would have liked to have gotten our section done at the same time, but we weren't consulted. We didn't get a response when we expressed that we wanted to get it done at the same time, so what can you do, right? Well, thankfully we didn't lose our driveway this spring. Fingers crossed it continues to stay that way. We're going to wrap up the video here. We will see you in a few days with some more barn building. We'll get back to that build. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time.